You're listening to Business Lunch with Roland Frasier. This is your seat at the table.
Hey everybody, Roland Frasier here. Welcome to Business Lunch. I'm very pleased to have my good friend Glen Ledwell from Mind Movies and other assorted businesses here today. Glen, welcome to the show.
Hey Roland, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And you are in scenic, wonderful Las Vegas right now in your brand new place, right?
I am. Still a few boxes laying around, but yeah.
It's fun to move during this time because you have all of the normal challenges plus the masks and other things going on, right?
Yeah, to say the least. Everything's challenging though right now.
So just so people know a little bit more about you, would you mind saying what you're doing right now, and then we'll kind of delve into how you got from where you were to where you are?
So Mind Movies has been my main focus and main company for over 12 years now.
What does Mind Movies do, just so that everybody knows?
Sorry, yes. So Mind Movies is a personal development company. We focus on traditional personal growth techniques combined with technology is kind of our vibe. A lot of visualization, brain entrainment, but everything from, help me set a goal to be more successful to, positive thinking type of business.
And that's the main gig right now, correct?
Yeah, that's been my main gig for 12 years. I'm happy to say we are actually an 8-figure company now for the last couple of years, which was a long time getting there. Like everyone, I think we struggled and now coming out of that and doing quite well. I have a couple other companies under that banner. One's called Abundant Entrepreneur, where we teach people how to build a passion-based freedom business. Obviously most of those people in the personal development industry that want to take their message online. And there's another brand under that called JV Hacking, where we teach people how to do joint ventures, anything affiliate marketing. And of course I have my Mastermind Flight Club, which of course you're aware of.
So before this, I believe immediately before Mind Movies, you were running nightclubs in Australia, correct?
Well, no, that was a couple of businesses before that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back all the way to the first one. So tell me what was the first entrepreneurial endeavor and what took you into it?
Oh, geez. Well, that I'd have to say was when I was 6 years old, but we won't go back that far. When I was, hustling kids for marbles, making, gambling games. That was really my first entrepreneurial gig because, currency was marbles. We didn't care about money then, or football cards but no, seriously, first business was 17. I was a contractor at the time, so I started my own contracting business on the side. That obviously was hard. So went through a few smaller things, got into direct mail. It was kind of my first marketing type thing, creating offers.
What kind of direct mail? What were you selling?
You're going to love this. I was selling Australian lottery to Americans.
Nice.
That's a whole conversation, that one. But
love it. So you were mailing into the America's Australian lottery. That's fun.
It. The lotteries, the lottos. Yep.
What did you do after that?
Somewhere in between there, I got into the entertainment business and built an event company. So I was running big dance parties, boat parties. That led me into promoting a club, buying a nightclub, which I never intended to do. Spent 5 years there. That was definitely the time that I hated the most, was the most challenging, but learnt the most about human behavior, without question.
What were some of the bigger takeaways?
The bigger takeaway was understanding emotion. If you make people feel good and give them the emotion they want, you'll get what you want.
Nice.
And it was able to deal with different personalities, different egos. It really was. It was and I didn't realize it at the time, obviously, until I got into this marketing, but it was like understanding you just make people feel good. They will be loyal, whether it's customers or in whatever relationship that is.
Absolutely. Awesome.
There was a lot in that, yeah.
And then you sold the nightclub, and then what happened?
Yeah, so during the nightclub, I had an alcohol manufacturing business. I started the first bathroom advertising company ever in Australia. Yeah.
Wow.
Which we then sold to a monster company a few years later. It was already in Canada and Spain. We found out later, but it was my idea. I saw it in the airports, the signs in the airport.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, I got back into developing. So I did some property development, built the house that I lived in, did okay there. Got out of that into coffee was a real surge back then. We're talking like early 2000s now. I bought 3 coffee franchises, 1 in Victoria and Melbourne, 2 in Sydney. Was
First
running
coffee
that,
shop?
more of a lifestyle type business though it was.
Yeah. Okay.
While I was doing that, that was when I really got into the online world. Discovered the online world. And I mean, that story from discovering the online world to here, I mean, is, that's, we need another 2 hours for that.
I still like kind of breaking it down a little. So the coffee shop, so what was it about the coffee shop that kind of got you into the online then?
Well, it wasn't a coffee shop. So basically it was a brand new franchise. And what they did, you bought these automatic style systems and you put them into businesses.
Okay.
Like offices or anything really. And when you went around and you had someone service or you service these machines and you charge them on a per cup basis. I mean, it was a brilliant concept, at the time. So I set up 3 franchises, which you know me, boots and all. Oh, why try one? Let's just boom. Anyways, I've got some credit. Let's do this, right?
Oh, I love it.
So did that. And then while we were doing that, I actually got involved in an MLM. I said, I'm forgetting the leap here. An MLM that was based here in Vegas, which is hilarious.
Okay.
But it was about video email.
Okay.
So this was the thing. I mean, I couldn't type. I thought you had to be Bill Gates to use a computer. Like I was so ignorant. Anyway, but that kind of exposed me a little bit. Then I went, the biggest problem in this coffee business is creating leads. Oh, maybe I can do a page and get some Google traffic. Like I really didn't even know what that was, but I built a page to create leads, so much so the owners of the franchise wanted to buy it off me.
Nice.
So I ended up getting out of that business and selling that while my movies was really just a fun little thing. Is this going to work or not? I think it cost me $2,300 to start the company.
That's awesome.
That was the exposure,
And so, so what caused you to want to get in? Like, what gave you the idea to do Mind Movies?
So Mind Movies, my partner, friend at the time, my partner, he saw some kind of a video on YouTube, and we were doing vision boards. We're students of personal development. We both were, and he said, "I'm going to make a slideshow type thing." And then that kind of went from there. We went, "Oh, this is fun." And then it was funny, like Law of Attraction story. The Secret had just been on Oprah. So The Secret was about a year after it had come out. Maybe not even a year, maybe 6 months, but whatever. It had been on Oprah, so 100 million people now know about visualization and tying emotion to the goal and all this kind of thing, which was my big thing from The Secret. So anyway, and I was talking to my wife and still business partner, Natalie, at the time. I said, can you imagine being able to leverage off this just craziness? I mean, my mother called me about The Secret. You know what I mean? I'd given her a DVD a year ago, but she called me to tell me about it,
Yes.
And I'm like, can you imagine? And then the next morning, my old ex-partner said, that little video thing? Do you want to start a business teaching people how to do that? And I'm like, hang on a minute. The one thing that 100 million people know they've got to do now that's really difficult to do, actually, this does that kind of, doesn't it? We didn't know the science behind it or any of that back then. We do now, obviously. But I went, oh, my God, this is crazy. So that was the start of our actual Law of Attraction, start to our Law of Attraction business.
That's really, really cool. So so $2,300 was to create the first kind of application of the program, or?
It was $800 to get a website built, believe it or not. Okay. No copy on it, just a header and a video. Can you imagine that in 2007?
That's pretty crazy.
It was a video sales letter. That didn't exist back then, right? I always say to John Benson, I think I created, I just didn't know what it was called. No text on the site. That was to get the site built, and then we had to buy a video camera. Mm-hmm. And then that got us going. But then I think I ended up, when I came up with the name, Mind Movies, I think we ended up having to pay a little bit more than that. It was another $1,100 or something. But anyway, to actually get the business going,
right,
it was the camera and getting the website built. And we just learned how to do everything else,
And you had people asking for like the slideshows or anything like that you had shown, or was it just you're like, hey, this could be something, let's see if we can sell it?
Yeah, pretty much. The latter, yeah. It was basically a few people had seen, oh, that's a cool thing. And that's what gave Ryan the idea to say, maybe some people might want this. So a couple of people who kind of showed interest. And I thought, yeah, it's fun. I really didn't have any idea. I'm just like, what will it cost? Oh, all right. Yeah, right. Let's do that. Right, fine. Have a go. Let's have a go at it. You know, so.
You get it to take off from there.
Yeah, so basically from there, I was like, you know, well, how do we get traffic to this? And it was like, well, you put a video on YouTube. I'm like, what's a YouTube? You know, and then you use social media. What's a social media? I mean, this is MySpace time, right?
Right.
I didn't even understand what it was.
Right.
So we started doing a little bit of stuff on MySpace, and we put it was this simple back then. I scripted a video in my living room with commercial music, which, you know, of course we got in a lot of trouble for later on when I realized that was a problem. But we literally I'd never scripted a video.
Yeah.
That video in the first year probably got 1.2 million views.
That's amazing.
And we put the site up, and then I think it was 2 or 3 days, I can't remember. And we made 3 sales of $20. $20, not $19.95, $20. Right? And I just went, oh my God, we're selling air. I didn't know it was smart to sell it before we created it.
Right.
It was just like, whoa. And I think over a few weeks, we made about 40 or 50 sales, and we went, shit, we've got to learn how to make this program So it was basically Camtasia on how to download memories on web, which was a free piece of software. Camtasia videos on how to find photos on the internet, then how to put this together. Like it was, I mean, talk about ghetto, but no one had ever seen anything like it. You know, it was the timing.
That's really cool. Timing. And then tell me about like kind of the first big growth thing that happened that kind of took it to the next level.
Yeah, so that was kind of, we were playing around through 07, let's just say. I mean, you know, I don't know, make a little bit of money, but nothing significant. And we decided, we set our time, we set up a date to move. We decided to do Endless Summer. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, we came over to the States in April of 08. I joined Frank Kern's I went to Frank Kern's first Mass Control. Joined his first mastermind, which we so did not have the money. We so did not have the money. I still had the businesses back home, the house, cars, you know, everything. So we did all that, you know, and basically just surrounded ourselves, right? We get this, right? Surrounded ourselves. We know the kind of people we need to be sponges here.
Yeah.
And in the September, we did the first ever PLF launch in the personal development space and sold 7,000 units.
And what was the price of the unit?
100.
Yeah.
$100 with no upsells. We had continuity, which was, thank goodness we had that, but it was
$700K though. That doesn't suck.
And here was the thing. We were going to do $1 million because everyone around us was doing $1 million, but their products were $2,000 each.
Right.
We're going to do $1 million. And you wouldn't believe the week that we launched, when the whole world literally fell apart. It wasn't the month before, the month after, September of 08. The whole world was falling apart. And what happened was, of course, the dollar fell crazy. So we're disappointed. We only did 700,000. Are you kidding me? And I talked to my dad the second day of the launch. He goes, you know what's just happened? Because we don't watch the news, right? He goes, dollar's at 70 cents right now.
So you did $1 million.
We did $1 million. We did $1 million.
Nice.
So that year we did about another 500,000 that year. And there's a whole other story to that. PayPal shut us down, locked up half our money, blah, 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 all this terrible shit. But basically that first real year we did 1.5 million. And that was just, I mean, really $1 million of that was in weeks. So, I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever fathomed, you know?
And if you were going to go now and try to do something new in an area that you didn't have experience, like you didn't there, would you do the same kind of thing?
No way in the world.
Yeah? What would you do different?
No way in the world. Well, I just wouldn't have gone green, done a launch, put every single, now, I mean, obviously I know a lot about launches.
Yes.
I'd gone through a bit of Mass Control and Jeff's product launch formula, and basically, you know, just, I guess, use some, what would you say it, persuasion skills that I guess I naturally had, convinced everybody that, right, you know, I know what I'm doing. Thank God I actually did in the end, but I really didn't. But all the ways that it should have and would have failed, only that, I just had that determination that we can't fail. We're screwed if we fail. We're just screwed. It's not even an option.
Right.
I would never advise anyone do that. Like, it was, oh my God, I just would never advise anyone. Come straight out of the gate and do that. Like, no. We were lucky,
And so what would you tell them to do?
If it was the thing is, a product launch like that back in those days, which now, again, it was timing in the personal development space, but no one, like PLF launches, I mean, they still work great now, but back then, oh my God, and no one had ever done one in our space. Like, I remember this number, 32% conversion on the sales video. 32% conversion. And that was for the first few hours. Like,
right.
Are you kidding me? Like, get 2 now, we're happy, right? So that style wouldn't be possible to do now. So I would do it more gradual. I would do it a lot more gradual than that. And, how I would, if I ever mentor anyone now, I'd say, okay, this is how we build a list. This is how we get a following. This is how we connect with some partners. Okay, let's get an offer to work. And then down, a product launch would come into it to build the brand. Like, we know this. That's why we do the launch. It's just to build the brand now. The money and the leads, and that's really not worth it anymore.
You had a few years where you were a little frustrated, as I recall, because you were at several $1 million, but hadn't made the next leap that you wanted to make, and then you were able to do that. Would you share a little bit about like what the frustration was, and maybe some of the things that you felt now that you've kind of gotten through that you felt really helped you make it to that next level?
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, well, and you know what? It's kind of interesting. I mean, I hate to blame, it was because of email, it was because of Google, but and I say that up front. No, I should have seen what was going on, right? Sure. But it was one of those things that kind of happened. Like, we didn't know how easy we had it. Like, in our second year, we did $3 million. Our third year, we did $6 million. I mean, this was more money than I couldn't even fathom this amount of money. And then, honestly, just doing a couple of launches a year, email was working great. Like, we stayed at that $5-6 million mark for years. Right. Years. And now that I look back, pretty damn easily, right? But thank God we actually got better and better and better and better, because we would have been going,
Right.
We wouldn't have stayed there. So, but what happened, I can't really think what year it was, but this is what I remember happened. It was, all the Google slaps and all that happened, whatever, you have to pivot. But it was when email deliverability went through the floor. I saw we did 3 launches a year, and it was a third. So we literally lost $2.5 million that year, which was pretty much all our profit. Actually, it was more, right?
Right.
So we were trying to pivot, and, we're trying to get Google to work. We're trying to get Facebook to work. And this really happened. And then I had some massive staffing issues, which is, again, I didn't realize, but it was kind of like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, with the right attitude, I mean, as you know, you don't just go, oh, well, God, look at all these reasons why, geez, we're done. It's just like, this can't happen. Probably too big an ego, to be honest. But so we kind of really hit a lull. We really did. And because we saw the whole email thing coming, as I know you did, started self-hosting, we were fine. But what I realized, when 80% of your traffic is coming from your affiliates and they didn't see it coming,
right?
It literally, like I said, it cut our traffic in a third. I mean, you get a third of the money, how good are you doing? We had a lot of organic stuff and that we kind of built over the years. So we were kind of able to coast, but we probably went down to, even under 4, we would have gone down to a couple of years. I mean, and at that money, we are like, the team we've got, and we're not making any money. We're not making any money.
Right.
So we had a year or 2 struggle. One was particularly tough, and we were really trying to, obviously get other channels going, get back in flow. And the way that I can really describe it, it seemed to be email deliverability came up a bit, but in that time frame, just email open rates and click-throughs, everything had just dropped. So it was just this time period where we were a total email company. I mean, all our money was coming from email, Nelly.
Yeah.
So we started to change things with that, you know, getting onto apps, getting onto different applications. I made it my mission to get Facebook to work, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness, right? But then what happens? Well, then you're relying on Facebook. That's worse. Right? So it was kind of a bit, but you know what? I can't say we did that thing. It was nothing's working. You're out of flow. And then, okay, we got something to work. We get back in flow. Then all of a sudden our promos are working. Our ads are working. Our launches are working. And we got back in flow. Yeah. And it took us probably we did decent the next year, better the year after, than our biggest year ever, which was last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the shutdown comes. And how has that been? Has a pivot been necessary? Has it been good for business or what?
It definitely, I mean, it wasn't good for business in the thing, but I think, you know, this is definitely as well as I do, Roland. Like this wasn't anything, I think everyone, and I had to assure my staff as much as anybody, but I mean, in all the different businesses you've been in, stuff like this has happened.
Yes.
And it always is followed by an upturn, right? Now, you think we're online, we're in a business that helps people. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer that we were going to be okay, right? Yeah. But I mean, you know, I guess we were positioned well, you know, at the time. We did have enough money in the bank. We did, you know, we weren't at our, you know, low kind of, you know, which could have been more troublesome. We probably dropped 20%-ish, 25%.
We did.
Last couple of months, were you about saying?
A digital marketer as well. Same, yeah.
Same. But I'm sure you did, we did some major pivots, yeah. You know?
So let's talk about that just for everybody that's listening / watching. So what did you do that worked, and what did you do that didn't work?
So kind of the obvious things. We obviously readjusted all, I shouldn't say, I guess it's obvious, but changed all our ads, changed all our landers. And this was the big one that I think a lot of people missed. They didn't change their follow-ups, you know?
Sequences, yeah.
Man. And I mean, you can imagine getting an email when all you're thinking about is we're all going to die and I've got no money, and you're getting something about, right, so you're just about to miss out on, you know? So we did do that very, very quickly. And we've got, I think, 500 follow-up lists, you know?
What was the change in the tone of those?
So it was more, like from a visual perspective, it's probably easy to explain. You know, no more videos or ads in flashy studios. They're at home. Might be a flashy living room, but you're sitting on the couch. Like, that's just to give you an idea of that. And every email started with, in this time we're in, while we're going through this.
Nice.
You start the conversation with, you know, what's in their head.
Yeah.
You're in fear. So then I felt if you didn't do that, it was just so incongruent. I think that was the main thing. I tell you the interesting stuff that didn't work. We immediately started it might have even been every day. Yeah, I think it was 5 days. We just started this whole new thing. It's all free, you know, to write, this is your time to be positive in this awful situation we're in. And we did it. Like, Natalie was doing these live hours every day. Like, it's not that it didn't help people. It did a little bit, but any traction from it, we were doing better when she was doing her 2 lives a week. Just normal.
Yeah.
From a monetary perspective, she changed the conversation, obviously.
Yeah.
But doing this, which I was really surprised by.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, like, you'd think people are craving, and free, and it really was free. It wasn't some, you know.
I'm guessing you had quite a few people watching. It's just that it wasn't turning into money. Is that correct?
Not as many people watching as you would have thought. That's what was interesting. The ones that when we're doing the couple a week, we're getting more engagement.
Huh.
Like, not that it was bad engagement. But then, of course, you know, a couple of weeks in, when you're saying, oh, and something else to help you, and leading to another free thing, it just wasn't going anywhere, you know. that was probably the big thing that, you know, you're sure is going to work, and it just didn't work.
Interesting.
What did work really, I know I've shared this one with you, was the positioning a trial, like after, do you remember telling us? So, and I've done this in quite a few different offers now because it works so well. So whatever the offer was, whether it's a $20 thing, or a lot of our stuff is lower ticket, but even if it's a $300 thing, we positioned it like, okay, and we did try this both ways, by the way. Started off with the free trial. Basically, it was $1 a free trial. But the way we positioned it was, look, in the time we're in, I know you need this more than any time, which of course is absolutely true, right? You need this more now than you do in a few months. What about you just take this, and if once the dust has settled, after 3 months or whenever, pay them. And if you don't, just don't, right? That absolutely killed it and still is, you know. So we've transferred that across. We use it as a follow-up to the original offer now, which again, I would have thought it would have worked better at the front. Mm-hmm. But a normal offer, then that is a follow-up. It literally doubles the income that you've
made. And what's the normal offer?
Well, I've used it in a few different ways, but the first way we used it was like, for instance, a $17 meditation for getting rid of not anxiety, or to boost your immune system. It was something that was very relatable. Yeah. But this was the trick with it. I think there was a couple of keys. The positioning on it's not a trial, a 3-month trial. It's a trial for this. And this is what I wasn't sure to do, but I thought, you know what, just try it. The first upsell was, if you want to get it for $9 and pay right now. And I thought, is that going to be icky? You know, I forget, we positioned it somewhere, something a bit better than that. For $9, 55% of the people took that.
Okay.
So that made it okay. And then after this worked so well, because we thought we can't put a bunch of upsells. Well, then we did, but we just changed the positioning. We said, look, we have a few other things that will help you. There is absolutely no obligation. We know this is tough times.
Very, very soft.
You want to see it.
Right.
And of course that worked great too. So what we realized just by doing this, I'm not going to say it was 100% bump, but it was pretty damn close by adding this to the back, you know?
Yeah.
So that was definitely by far the one we did, you know?
What, with things looking like they're going to go significantly longer, what impact does that have on you, on your decisions as to what you're doing going forward? Are you just going to do more of the same, or anything that you're thinking about changing, or anything that you're particularly excited about, or?
Yeah, you know, it's really like this going further thing has really only been, and especially because I'm certainly not one watching the media every day. So, you know, okay, I'm hearing things are going longer. I mean, this is, in my humble opinion, I don't think all our businesses are going to go like this again. I think people are used to it now, you know? I don't think we're going to see a big dip. If we do, to be completely honest, I haven't given it that much thought. It's just like, if we do, we'll probably go back and we'll start repositioning the same as we reposition. Do you know what I mean? Like, just try to pivot to wherever it is.
Yeah.
I really don't think that will happen. Not in my space anyway, you know. Do you?
I don't, no. I think it's going to, I think we're at the new normal already.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The only thing that'll be interesting, depending on your market, will be if in the United States, the extra $600 a week in unemployment that millions and tens of millions of people are receiving goes away at the end of this month. That will be a significant change. That's about a $30,000 a year change in people's income who don't make but 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a year. I mean, that's been a big supporter. So it will be interesting to see if that does in fact end and things don't reopen. Then I think then we'll start seeing some real effect. I don't think we've seen any significant effects because the bulk of the workforce has been supported by that, between PPP loans and idle loans for businesses and the extra unemployment for individuals. The government has lifted it up and said, hey, we know it's all kind of shaky right now, but we're here.
Yeah.
But now we're at kind of a cliff. And so that's going to be interesting, because if the PPP, idle, and unemployment go away in favor of what they're talking about coming back with back to work bonuses, that's a one-time bonus of something, it ain't going to be the same. And I think a lot of those jobs are gone for right now. Until things reopen, I don't think businesses are going to be, hey, everybody, come on back and we'll just figure it out, because they can't. So that will be interesting to see. I think right now we've seen from March, April, May, June, and July an artificially supported economy that I hope they'll continue to support, because if they don't, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. And then it will be interesting to see how that impacts everything. But I definitely see personal development, business opportunity, all of those things are going to be in great demand, because people are looking for how do they make their own pivots, right? Both mentally, emotionally, and also physically. I mean, fiscally.
Yeah, I know. I think that I must have said it 100 times. I mean, those first few weeks particularly, I've never been as grateful to be in this world. Like, everyone in the world wants to be in our businesses now. You know? They're like, oh my God, I wish I was online. So yeah, that's why I agree with you. Yeah, they're looking for help, but they're looking for people to teach them how to do this. Like, because they know, what if it happens again? You know, like, like I said, it is going to be a big, but that's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't even really thinking about that.
Is there any place with your business that you're thinking like new things, new places to expand, or things you're excited about, or just kind of moving along in the same direction?
No, we really are. It's we kind of before. I can't say it's really new, but what is very exciting. We've really got YouTube to work. Yeah, and no one's going YouTube in my space. So that I've been excited about. But I mean, as you know, YouTube is not easy to get to work, and it's a lot of risk, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, but we really have got it to work well.
You have it working in terms of ads or organic, or both?
Ads, not organic so much. We've spent a lot of time on that, No, I mean in ads, where our YouTube is outperforming both our agencies with Facebook put together at the moment. And it's better ROIs, which it has to be, because the cost is so much higher, you know, in production and whatnot. But that's the exciting thing for me right now, and has been for a little while.
What's a customer worth initially?
I wouldn't have top, like, of what, you know what I mean? Like that
the customers you're getting from YouTube.
So the main funnel, what's the value? I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I know when they come in, but it's like, you know, the first thing they come in, you know, our kind of funnel, it's quiz, then registration, post-registration. We know the number we need on each of those commitments, but then people say, oh, well, what do you pay for a lead? I go, well, 80 cents and they're profitable, and $14 and they're profitable. So it's very, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
CPA, like for us right now, so we just in the Epic Challenge thing I've been doing, we just got YouTube to start working also. And so we're getting a $100 customer, somebody that has an AOV, an average order value of $100, for, I think it's $72. And that's been game changing. And so we're scaling it up, and it's continuing to work. And so that's very exciting, because, you know, we already have Facebook working. So it's now, do you guys, how about Google? How is Google for you guys?
We've never, when I say never, not for a long time, like a long time, but, you know, but we've tried different, the different agencies, had someone in the house, like, you know, it's obviously more difficult. But one of our agencies now, obviously YouTube, they're playing with it now. So, and of course I've got more confidence because, well, they're the ones that have got this to work. So, that would be that's the last pillar, you know, that's the pillar that I want, you know.
The only thing, it's like all the people that I talk to, getting Google to work for search and display, except for branding. Like if they're looking for Mind Movies, for example, then you should definitely be running AdWords ads on search for Mind Movies, because if they're searching for it, you want them to click on you, not some affiliate or somebody like that. But they're all telling me that retargeting on the Google Display Network is working really, really well. but the others, it's just impossible to make an ROI except in branded searches. So that's
it makes sense to me. I mean, and and over the years, I've had someone do an audit, and I know they're going to come back and say, no one in your industry is spending money on Google.
Right.
Yeah, they are. They come back, same thing. You won't be able to get this to work. I'm like, thanks for that,
That'll be $10,000.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm like, oh my God.
Love it. Well, dude, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang here for a little bit today and share. For everybody that's interested in Mind Movies or you or anything else you've got going on, what are the best ways for them to get a hold of you?
Oh, I mean, I'm very contactable. It's just my name on Facebook, Glen Ledwell. Pretty damn easy. GLEN, just one N, very unique there, and LEDWELL. And Mind Movies again. I'm very contactable through that.
Awesome, dude. And you podcast or anything like that?
Well, I don't personally, but we do have a podcast now called Not Over, Just Different. That Natalie, my business partner, who's
over, just different.
Yeah, not over, just different.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, thanks again. Appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us today. And I definitely think people should check you out.
Thanks, Roland. Appreciate the time, buddy. Bye.